ist mein Gebet. Für alle, um jedem neuen. Solange sich diese Welt noch dreht. Wir alle beten für diesen Planeten. Dies ist die dunkelste Stunde. Jeder Weg so wichtig ist wie jeder. Und wenn ihre Ziele nicht im Einklang sind. Und ich, Mensch, tut es mir leid. Solange sich diese Welt noch dreht. I feel you. It's all that I can say without you. 'Cause you took my heart away. I feel you. Baby, I feel you. I feel you. It's all that I can say without you. 'Cause you took my heart away. I feel you. Baby, I feel you. could say without you. 'Cause you took my heart away. I feel blue.
Baby, I'll feel blue. ¿Quieres venir conmigo? ¿Quieres venir? ¿Quieres volar conmigo? Puedes confiar. ¿Quieres venir conmigo? Volar. Puedes confiar, estoy aquí. La gente que pasa a mi lado, que viene. Una nube convierte el amarillo en verde. Planetas que giran y flores que se abren, silencios que alivian una vida nacer. ¿Quieres venir conmigo? ¿Quieres venir? ¿Quieres venir conmigo? ¿Quieres venir? ¿Quieres volar conmigo? Puedes confiar. El viento que sopla mueve las mareas, mareas que cubren y limpian mi ser. Grandes avenidas, montañas y estrellas, desechando mis prejuicios, confío. ¿Quieres venir conmigo? when the truth is found to be lies, and all the joy within you dies. Don't you want somebody? Don't you need somebody? Somebody to love. Don't you? When the garden flowers, baby, are dead, and your mind is so full of red. Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love. Your eyes, I say your eyes may look like his, but in your head, baby, I'm afraid you don't know what it is. Your lips, I say your lips may kiss like his, but in your head, baby, I'm afraid you don't know what it is. Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love.
Yo.
You better find somebody to love.
Good evening, everyone. This is your 10-minute warning. Please make your way to the main stage for the closing event.
Eu cheguei aqui nessa cidade, meu coração transbordando de saudade. Eu cheguei procurando por você, pra chegar e cair no, pra chegar e cair no, porque esse samba tem dendê, tiriquitungo titundê, porque esse samba tem dendê, tiriquitungo titundê, samba, samba, samba em sol, samba em lá, samba, samba, You know how to turn me on. Oh, you got it going on. Baby, you can make my day. You know how to turn me on. Oh, you got it going on. Baby, you can make my day. Come on, get down with me. We can dance the night away. Baby, you can make my day. Nothing's gonna stop us now. We can get down anyhow. Come on, baby, make my day. Come on, turn the radio on. Turn it up, the neighbors gone. You can make my day. You know how to turn me on. Oh, you got it going on. Baby, you can make my day. Come on, turn the radio on. Turn it up, the neighbors gone. You can make my day.
Please make your way to the main stage. The doors are about to close and the event is about to start.
finds my way. I'm full of fantasy, maybe it's just the youth in me. My simple melody, it's a song to set me free. Rainbow in the sky, asking questions to you and I. Jungle in my life, the jungle in my mind, the jungle in me. Jungle set me free. I wish I could fly, feeling I can't deny. Understand my generation, it's just my education. So much confrontation in a nation of frustration, with no explanation. There must be some dedication. Long, long way to go. This song could set me free. Simple melody, come on, sing along with me. Jungle in my life, the jungle in my mind, the jungle in me. Jungle set me free, jungle set me free. Jungle in my life, the jungle in my mind, the jungle in me. Jungle set me free. Way out, me want Libya. Way out, me want Larry Waka. Way out, me want Libya. Way out, me want Larry Waka. Jungle in my life, the jungle in my mind, the jungle in me. Jungle set me free, jungle set me free. Way out, me want Libya. Way out, me want Larry Waka. Way out, me want Libya. Way out, me want Larry Waka. Way out, me want Libby. Way out, me want Larry Waka. Way out, me want Libby. Way out, me want Larry Waka. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Army Warning and her band. Thank you. She's a singer-songwriter from Munich, and we will hear more songs from you tonight. Thank you so much. And hello again. It is
Hello.
good to see so many familiar faces here tonight. But before we start, I just want a short impression from you. How were the last four days
The last
of
4 days,
histoCON?
yeah.
So how was it? Okay, that sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So this time we have something special. There's a microphone up there. So if you have any question or if you want to tell us something, just step up here and then you can
Just
talk.
let us know and we'll get the mic. Yeah.
Good to see you again, Delali.
Good to see you, Victoria. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Nice, too. So 4 days of full input, creative work, and hopefully a lot of fun are coming to an end. And I personally had a lot of fun, to be here with you guys and to meet those amazing and talented guests. History is very important. It helps us, to understand our shared or divided history, and this is what histoCON about. So thank you for being here, guys. And you already know, we will start now with a small game. And you know how it works. Go to mendy.com and enter the number.
Phones out again. We had the same procedure on Wednesday. So phones out again. Go on menti.com.
Exactly. And the number 32683019. Again, 32683019.
So we have some questions for you. And the first question is, sweet or salty popcorn? Again? I think the code number is also up there.
It's
you find
up there,
it up there also.
32683019.
Oh, we can see the first results. It's salty. Salty seemed to win. Boo! Delali, sweet or salty?
Salty, of course.
I can't stand salty popcorn. Why do I eat popcorn then? I want it sweet, of course.
No, the salty are better.
Okay, there are more coming in. So I think probably the sweet.
The sweet is winning.
Sweet one, I would say.
Oh, come on.
Let's say sweet one, okay?
No.
And let's go on.
Okay.
Sweet one, clearly.
Yeah.
What is the next question we have?
Okay, so let's go to the next one. Optimist or pessimist?
I mean, that's obvious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, obvious. What about you?
You better. I mean, what do you think, Delali? Huh? What do you think?
Maybe pessimist? So it looks like
we have more optimists here. That's
winning.
Pretty good. Are there more optimists? Okay,
Looks good.
I think that's a clear vote here. The next one, as you experienced it today, what is the better word, Schnitzeljagd or scavenger hunt? Okay.
Schnitzel, sweetie. We know already.
I mean,
Okay, it's clear, yeah.
Schnitzeljagd is such a German word,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't know why it's called Schnitzeljagd, actually. Do you know why it's called Schnitzeljagd?
I have no idea.
Do you know what Schnitzel is, by the way? Okay. They know.
Wow.
We have another one. Okay. I think the results are clear.
Yeah.
We have
So?
another one. Loud or quiet? Yeah, okay. All them introverts.
Okay.
Yeah, I prefer quiet myself, actually. When it comes to music, I prefer loud, but with any other thing,
Quiet.
I need a quiet environment. How about you, Delali?
Yeah, quiet. I'm kind of surprised, actually, because our public is actually pretty loud. And I would like again, can you applause? Can we have one applause again? Guys, you're loud, and it's nice.
Yeah, you can loud. So what's the last one?
And finally, what do you think? Looking back or thinking ahead?
What would you say? Oh, where's the, there's the, what would you say, Delali?
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thinking
You have
ahead.
to answer the question, don't
It
say
looks
awesome.
like thinking ahead is winning.
But I think it's quite good that there are a lot of people who prefer thinking ahead. What is a good thing?
That's a good thing. That means that, the 4 days.
But I think it's a trick question, right?
That's true, yeah.
Because we would say, looking back and thinking ahead, of course.
So now to conclude the histoCON in an appropriate way, we have a great program for you today. In a moment, we will talk to some of our, people here who had experiences the last days. We will then watch something Pavel did for us, the last days. And he talked to an historian about whether you can learn from history for the present. So, yeah, we look forward to it.
Yeah, I must say that I'm glad that I'm part of this histoCON 2022. Like, the atmosphere is really warm. There are so many great people from all over the world. We had really a pleasure to stand in front of you on Wednesday and again today. So we had an amazing workshop program, amazing show acts here on stage, also today, of course, and you, my new friend Dilali.
Thank you.
I'm really happy to do this today and on Wednesday here with you.
Same for me. And guys, I have a question. How was actually the workshop for you? Did you like it?
Did you enjoy the workshops?
Yeah. So. Thank you.
As I said before, if you want to share your impressions, you can also tell us on the microphone here up front.
Exactly.
So now we would like to ask 3 workshop hosts to come upstage and do a little recap with us. Please come up here and welcome with us the hosts Sidi, Nish, and Kaspar. So warm applause. You go over. And also our histoCON participant, Nina. Okay, there's a little confusion. Just say us your names.
I'm the Nina you called. And
My name is Vianda Shiho.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so some improvising here now.
So let's start. Let's start with the question, right, Victoria? So I will start right off with you, Kaspar. Your approach to the histoCON was quite extraordinary. You came up with salad in your workshop. How did you come up with that idea?
Well, to begin with, I thought of a salad because I like food and I like to eat. And thank you. Having that as a start, I just thought that combining food with history and identity and memory is something worth trying, because honestly it was an experiment. It was the first time I was doing that kind of workshop. And I think it worked. At least from my perspective, it was great. I hope that participants enjoyed as well. And again, I was hoping to discuss and to show through this, in this interactive way of common cooking, to think that food and the dishes, which very often try to be ascribed to a very specific country or a group, could actually be a shared heritage, something that could bring people together, unite, and show them that actually at the end of the day, it were just the people who were using sometimes the same ingredients if they lived nearby, which maybe they end up in living in different countries or different regions now. What brings them together is food, and over food they can discuss other parts of perhaps difficult history and things that could also serve as a basis for the reconciliation or for cooperation and friendship, just like food.
Wow, great. An applause for him. Thank you for your creative approach. So,
And thank you everyone for participating in it.
so, Sidi, can I ask you something, please? So you co-hosted the workshop, the 1947 partition. Where is her story with Aditi? My very obvious question to you, where is her story and what did you explore in your workshop?
Thank you for that question. I think
it's a great question, where is her story? And we didn't come here with an answer, which was really interesting for us. So we spoke about the 1947 partition of India and Pakistan, and how when we study history, we study about the leaders of the time, and what's recorded history is very, very less, and it's only about people with influence of the time. But partition wasn't about them. Partition was the experience of the common man. It was the world's largest migration that was not caused by war, and it was experienced by millions of people. So when we were talking about partition, Aditi and I, when we were coming up with the workshop, we thought about there are no narratives of women and minorities from the time, and we realized through our conversations that her story is with all of us, and that's because it's the stories of our families. You know, it comes up when we talk about the food we are eating. Where is that recipe coming from? Our grandparents are from across the border. Their lived experiences are very different than our experiences, and we only explored the stories of the common man through our families. So her story is with all of us. It's with the common man who are still living with the repercussions of the partition. So I'd say that's where her story is. And during the workshop, we explored topics such as counter-memory, feminist memorializing. We had some amazing, beautiful discussions with the participants about their experiences, how they understand memory, and things of the sort. So I think we came here in search for an answer of where is her story, and we just learned more and more through the people who attended our workshop. Yeah?
That's amazing. Thank you.
Sidi, I have a question for you as well. You also attended other workshops, so what is your impression of histoCON?
Thank you for that question. And I was just talking about this 5 minutes back with my friends who have made here, and I think this is the first history workshop I've ever attended. I've worked a lot around gender, feminism, things of the sort, but to look at that from the lens of history has been a really interesting experience for me, and also meeting people from across the globe who not just share their story, but they do it with a perspective, they do it with a lot of context, and when you meet people, you get to learn so much. So it's been an extremely interesting experience for me personally, because of the workshops, of course, but also because of all the incredible people who've attended these workshops and who I've gotten the chance to know better over the span of the last couple of days, and it's been a great experience for me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think we can all agree on that.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. So my next question is for you, Nish, please. So you came, long way from Nepal, and you wanted to teach us more about artivism. What is artivism?
Actually, I'm not here to teach. I'm here to learn from you guys, and I just wanted to share what I believed and I had experienced. Artivism is all about, a combination of two powerful emotions, heart and hate. Heart is about emotion and creative thinking process, whereas hate is about strategy, bringing people together, creating a momentum. So artivism is a combination of these two words, as it says. And actually, we're talking in the workshop, it has a long history. Actually, we don't know when it has emerged from. So we can see it has been used through the form of literature and music, poem, art. And as Siddhi mentioned earlier, we were also exploring how India had used this, Indian artists were using artivism in their freedom movement back in during 19th century. So the powerful combination of art and activism, which has the ability to be demonstrated outside of the galleries. It can be anywhere in the in the city center. It can be in the park, in the streets. So I think that gives us the creativity to reach people directly. That's what I really like about artivism. And as I mentioned earlier, I learned so many things about activism itself from the participants, and it was great hosting a workshop and participating in other workshops too. Thank you.
Thank you.
I also
have a question for you.
A question for you. What memories and what wishes for the future do you take with you from Berlin?
First of all, this workshop, this conference was a real, it was like real awesome event for me because I could really see like young people being a part of decision-making process, you know. We were, while hosting a workshop, we were not like influenced. Actually, like I can feel that this event really brought young people you know, into the table and like tested our ideas, you know, gave us the platform to think creative, you know, without the judgment. So I think that's the amazing thing that I'm gonna take back to my home country, because like back in Nepal, and I know like in a lot of the other countries, the participation of young people is merely a participation, you know, just for the inclusion's sake, just for the number's sake, there is a participation, but here at the histoCON, it was like real sense of participation, and I really liked about the workshop. And Berlin, amazing city, you know, I wish I could stay more, but yeah, I have to go back and do a lot of work in Nepal, and I wish I could come back and then explore more of the cities, more of the amazing attraction of the cities, but I'm sure I'll be back here, and yeah, great to be here, thank you.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks you all for sharing your impressions, and a big thanks to all the workshops and the networking activities you guys did. You put a face on histoCON. Thank you.
So now on my side are some workshop participants. Vijanda, which workshop did you choose and why?
I had a hard time deciding because there were so many interesting ones, but I chose the ones that I had not much of an idea about. So nuclear weapons, also art through resistance, the Chilean case, and core and periphery after 1945.
Can you tell us something why you chose them?
Yeah, you said why. Right. Yeah, because I had no knowledge about it, or not no knowledge, but not so much of a knowledge. And I think it's very different like areas, nuclear weapons, art for resistance, and yeah, because of the referendum that just happened in Chile, it also fit even more, and with the danger of Russia, for example, when it comes to nuclear weapons, but also, of course, many other countries. And yeah, what was really interesting for me, for example, was the maps we all did in the core and periphery workshop, because you were able to see that it is a very colonial pattern, and that almost all of us, no matter where they came from, had this same idea of core and periphery. So what is the global south and the global north, and who is listened to and who's not listened to?
What would you say were the 3 things you liked the most at histoCON?
So I really
or the workshops.
Okay, very broad. I think I really loved that this was not a semi-international event. I expected there to be, I know there are many Germans, but I thought there would be even more Germans. So I'm really glad that there are not more Germans, just because... So the diversity, at least in terms of nationalities, was given. I think we all could do better on the academic part, but obviously this event was all... Yeah, I think I go to the second point now. The space is really nice. I think a space also has a lot to do with the atmosphere, so I really liked the Alte Münze as a location, and it was really luck that it wasn't raining the whole time and only sometimes, and that there was such a big area. I just felt very safe, and I hope that everyone had this feeling. And yeah, now I think what I also liked, now we're all like the academics going back into our communities, we can really try to give this knowledge to other people and also try to let them be on the next histoCON. So we're not always the same faces, but more and more people get to know about it. So I think this is, I kind of turned these questions around, but this is also what I liked, that there were so many cool people who actually know that they are multipliers and they can inspire other people. And I think that's what we're gonna do.
Thank you.
So let's come back to you, Fihandra. What workshop did you attend?
The workshops that I can remember were, sorry guys, it was a detail in history. So this is a workshop where we had to listen about a story of someone that went through the Holocaust, and he went to all of the different locations that he was placed back when they were still being quite terrible to the Jews, and it was quite insightful. I really enjoyed looking at the photographs, how he went back to those locations and all of the emotions that he showed. I mean, he looked quite strong, but you can still see in his emotions that he was still hurt by everything that happened in those locations. And the second one is showing your history through art. So we had to come up with a catalog or a collage. Yes,
collage,
a collage, thank you. A collage. And I wanted to go through that workshop because I wanted to test my artistic side, because I'm not artistic at all. So it was quite a fun experience. What I brought up was quite fun, and I loved both of them. I loved them a lot. Actually, I loved all of the workshops. I loved them all.
Amazing, then an applause, please.
Thank you.
Thanks to all of you. We think all of you here have experienced a lot in the last few hours or days. If you want to share your impressions on social media, we will be happy if you use the hashtag histoCON. So please go on. And now let's have a look at some nice edit Pavel did for us. And yeah, enjoy it. And again, applause.
Oh, I take it from you. I have so.
thank you, Pavel, for what you did. You had a lot of stress the last days doing this, and you did not do it alone. So
no, I didn't.
I would like to invite as well on the stage, Peter.
Actually, Peter did this trailer in the beginning, so it was easy.
So, guys, let's start with you. How did it go? How was it?
Well, it was, as you said, really hard days, but really inspiring. And if you wonder, was this the result of the workshop? Not. I mean, at the end, the real final result you can find outside in the entrance. You see canvases, projected videos on the canvases, so we didn't want to repeat it and just to say a little bit about how it looks like. And here you see also some impressions from the making of, how it was inside of the video lab. So maybe you can, afterwards, when you see the results, see, this is how they worked.
Nice. And for you, Peter, how did it go?
Yeah, it was a very good workshop, I can say. It was amazing to see how everybody really wanted to finish it, and in the end we were very fast. That was very good, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I have to say it's worth it. Thanks a lot, and really thanks for doing this for our guests.
Maybe to add a little bit about the context of these canvases, because maybe you will ask, why this? Why are they so broken? You have so many canvases and the projection on them. The philosophical idea behind this is that from our point of view, from my personal point of view, history is never solid. It is fluid. It has also some black sides on it. And even in our family history, we sometimes understand, oh, my grandfather died. I don't know how to get back and to really to know the history. So we have some historical events, but every generation put the interpretation on her own again and again. So for that reason, it was a little bit like a restriction for the creativity to say, hey, from beginning, this will be the format. There will be many canvases. We will cut the videos. And of course, it was a big challenge for our participants to reduce the story to a sentence or even a question. So it was an interesting experience how to do a workshop which is, in the end, the result should be silent. How to tell a story if it is silent. So I hope we managed it well. You can check it afterwards and see if you like it.
So guys, can you show them if they manage it? Again, thank you both. Please.
Thank you again to Pavel, Peter, and also my co-host Delali. Now we would like to welcome our next guest to the histoCON stage. He is the Deputy Director of the Institut für Zeitgeschichte in Munich. The Institute of Contemporary History was founded in 1949 to be the first institute in Germany to scientifically research the National Socialist dictatorship. His research interests include National Socialism, the history of international relations, and the historical impact of political memories. A warm welcome to Professor Magnus Brechtken.
Hello.
Hello. Let's have a seat here at our Fireside Chat. A little reminder for you, if you have any questions, also to Mr. Brechtken, you can go to the microphone and then ask your question. Mr. Brechtken, good to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. It's a wonderful audience, I think. Yeah.
Thanks for being here. In 2022, you published a book with the German title Der Wert der Geschichte. I have it here. Maybe I put the glasses away, then you can all see it. In English, I would translate it The Value of History, 10 Lessons for the Present. Do you think we can actually learn from history?
you can actually only learn from history because you don't know about the future, and the present is a quite fluid, very short thing, so you have to look to the past, to the history to learn anything. And everyone in his own life, in his everyday life, knows from experience that when you have to make decisions, you look at what you have done before, and whether you choose A or B or C often depends on what experience about ABC you had in the past. So there's a plethora of knowledge by all those people who lived before us, be it in our country, be it worldwide, and they have the opportunity to provide us with all these experiences, and we can look at these experiences and use it. And that's what I call the value of the past, the value of history, indeed, yes.
I think it's a really good and logical explanation on this question. Thank you very much.
I hope so, yeah.
I always get this question also. I'm going to use your answer now. In the present time, many things seem gray and dark to us. The war in Ukraine, climate change, constantly new catastrophes. It seems the world has lost its faith in progress. But how would you describe the term progress in times like this? And should progress perhaps be defined in a completely different way?
Well, if you think about the term progress, about the way things progress over time, I always recommend to have a look at your own family history. Just remind yourself of the everyday life of your ancestors, maybe 200 years ago. What kind of life expectancy did they have? What kind of food? What kind of clothes did they wear? What kind of choices did they have in their everyday life? Did they have the opportunity for an education? Did they have the opportunity to travel? Did they have the opportunity to vote, to participate in political or everyday decisions? And you can see, if you have a look at the past, that over time these things changed because people came to the conclusion that every individual should have the right to participate in the decisions which concern them. And that means also to have political participation, and a political participation on a level of every individual, regardless of being of gender or race or whatever kind of identification there was used to put on persons in the past. And that is still the basis for today. You can see the countries, the societies, the nations where this kind of progress is, so to speak, adjusted and talked about and used to make everyday life better, or where it is neglected and things are, so to speak, imagined as a wonderful past which never existed, I can tell you.
So you would say that it's a point of view, like when you zoom out and look at history and look back, then you see a progress. If I look back in the past 10 years, it's completely different than looking back on, for example, women's rights the past 100 years.
The women's rights movement is a perfect example. If you look back at the women's at the rights and the everyday life of women 200 years ago, you can see what kind of choices they had when you were born, be it in Berlin, or be it in St. Petersburg, or be it in Washington. It was very limited on most levels. And over time, not only women by themselves, but also by the general developments of societies, came to the conclusion this is not right, because it's keeping out half of the world population, so to speak, by every intellectual possibility. And so, therefore, women have to have the chance to participate. You have a question?
We have a question from the audience. Yeah, it's the first question tonight.
I have just a question regarding the current movements cutting back women's rights. So do we have to...
The current movement?
Yeah, like the letdown of Roe versus Wade in the US and abortion rights and so on. Is it also that we are stepping back, or...
Yeah, of course there is no perfect society ever. And the question is always whether a society has the chance to discuss and to compete about the ideas underlying these kind of decisions. And in the United States, I would argue, the recall or the bringing down of Roe versus Wade into 2022 has a history of 50 years of fighting by people of the conservative, of the fundamental Christian society side, and so on. But as you see from the reactions now, and you will, I suppose, you will see in the elections in November, this also triggers a counter movement by all those who have been maybe phlegmatic, too phlegmatic in the past to defend their rights, which means you have always be aware that you have to defend democracy and to be aware of what is necessary to keep it up. It doesn't work on its own and it doesn't work by itself. It's each one of you who is making up democracy, who's making up the rule of law, who's making up a modern society. So it depends on everyone. Yeah.
Applause on that. So, by the fact that your book was published 2022, you could not foresee the current situation in which the world finds itself. Historians are, after all, only backward-looking prophets. I like this term. In your book, would you describe yourself as a backward-looking prophet?
No, I'm not a prophet. I'm an analyst, I would say. And you can just, which some people might challenge from the Trump side or so. There are facts in history. There are real facts. And if you are hit by a car, you are hit by a car. That's a fact, and you can feel that. And that fact can be used as a narrative in history. And there are plenty of these actual facts in history. The question for making this transparent is that everyone who hears your argument, who reads your argument, can follow where you build your arguments on. And that's why it's important to give the sources, your background, your image of man, of human beings, your image of society, so that you make transparent where you come from and where do you want to go. And if that's transparent, everyone can decide on his or her own.
I didn't expect this answer yet, but I really like the term analyst when it comes to history, because as you said, it's you look on data. I mean, we can discuss the thing with the bias and all that, but that is not the question today. In your book, you noted the end of the Cold War and described China in particular as a challenge. Do you still see it that way, or would you answer differently today?
The basis of my understanding of history is that there is always some sort of human strive, some sort of competition. People want to strive, be it in the family, be it in a regional society, be it in a nation, be it among nations. And the question is, how are these societies, these groups structured when they compete? So in this sense, the competition is always about providing security, welfare, safety for most of the people, medical stuff, etc. So to come round to answer your question, no, the analysis has not changed, because if you analyze the global system today, you will see that the basis of all development is the ability of economic capacity, of economic competence, of technical basis, of academic, of scientific knowledge, of technical advancement. And there is the basic questions since 30, 40 years or so, whether authoritarian societies or open society, free societies, are better prepared to develop creative answers for challenges in the present. My argument is that authoritarian societies try to convince people that they are better equipped. My argument is they are not, because authoritarian societies in the end tend to try to control people rather than to provide and to argue in their creativity. So today we are feeling this kind of competition, and this kind of competition is between free and open societies with democracy, rule of law, etc., and authoritarian societies, and we are in the middle of this process, and I would argue that China is the biggest challenge still and for the time to come.
We have a question from the audience. Please.
Yeah, I'm sure. Good evening, Professor Brechtken. I asked you a question last year at Deutsche Historiker Tag in German. I would like to ask a similar question in English today, but from a bit different perspectives. You mentioned that when writing history, you need to make it clear your backgrounds, your beliefs, how you see the world, how you see the society. But in reality, for example, English is the language with the most spoken people in the world, and those people who from developed countries, who speak and write very good English, they are more privileged in the international discussion. And those from underdeveloped countries from the global south, they are not very often heard, maybe of the language, maybe of the possibility to travel, or such as to these international events. And my question is, what do you think of international people, also from the global south, writing histories? Would they bring new perspectives? What are the chances of recruiting more internationals from the global south into the, let's say, the academic circle and public education of developed countries? And if there are some disadvantages of doing this, what are the disadvantages and why? Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's a huge topic also within the...
Yeah. Thank you for that question. That's a very important question, and I would like to answer from the perspective of our institute. We are an institute which was founded, as you've mentioned, for the study of the history of German history and the National Socialist past. And over the last 70 years, we have developed into an institute which does European history and global history as well. But the big challenge when you do history on an academic level, when you do research on an academic level, is that you have to understand the sources, the documents, what is, so to speak, written down. And that is a huge challenge for us to find people who have a variety of languages, be it from the traditional ones in Europe, from German to France to English to Italy to Spain, and so on. If you, for example, one of the workshops was about, I think, about Holocaust history. We've started a Center for Holocaust Studies some 10 years ago, particularly to provide a place in Germany where people, particularly from Central and Eastern Europe, there is a dozen different languages where the Holocaust took place and where all the documents where often, and particularly documents by survivors and victims, are written in these original languages of these countries. And there was no exchange between the original countries where the Holocaust took place and where the land of the perpetrators, namely in Germany. And that's why we started this kind of Holocaust center, so that people from these countries can come to our place to have fellowships and so on, so that this kind of interchange takes place. It's a very challenging thing because, as you all know, learning or at least for me, learning languages is not easy. It takes time, it takes effort, and to come on a level which is, when you are able to teach, is even more difficult. So I take this question as a really important one, but I don't have an overall answer other than to say we have to address it.
Thank you. So let's move on to your book and your lessons for the present. Your first, like you write 10 lessons for the present in your book. Your first lesson is forgetting history makes you blind. Why is the most important lesson for you? Why is it the most important lesson for you? And why should we stick to it? And looking at it in another way, can looking at history also makes you blind?
I would, to the second question, I would say, well, you can overdo everything, but I don't think it's doing with history. The point why history, if you don't look at history, you tend to become blind, because you have to repeat all the experiences which all your ancestors, all your societies before you have done so. And if you ever look at the 20th century, if you had lived 100 years ago, in 1922, there were three main options on the table if we had been meeting here 100 years ago. And you would have a look at the globe. There were three offers how the 20th century would go. The first one offer would be liberal democracy. The second one would be fascist rule like in Italy. And the third would be communist Bolshevist system like in the Soviet Union. They all three were in 1922 offering you some sort of brilliant future. And then the people, not only in Germany, but in Europe and the globe, tested these kind of three ideologies: liberal democracy, fascism, national socialism, and communism. And we, since 1990, but also in the present, can see what came out of it, of each of these three options. And now you can choose. You don't have to repeat this. And that's why I would say, just get back to history and learn what people 100 years ago had as choices, what choices they made, and whether it's easier to avoid some of these choices today.
Thank you. We have another question.
Thank you very much, Professor, for sharing. You've talked about how important it is to look at history, and someone also mentioned how the divide in terms of language between the global and the South. So when we look at history also, most times we don't talk about accountability. So for instance, between the global South and the global North, how can we, new generation, when we look back at history and then we want to demand for accountability, usually it raises emotion and there's tension in the room. So how do you think that can be handled?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure whether I have a passepartout answer to this. The most important point is, as you do, to recognize that these differences exist and not to neglect them, not to negate them, not to ignore them, but to understand where all the people who are in this discourse come from and what kind of aims they want to achieve. And we are in Berlin, but we are talking English. We are not in London. We are using English as a tool. I could better talk in German, but it's a tool. And maybe in 10 years' time, we'll have better tools for this. But the important bit is to self-reflect on all of this.
I think we have one more question, and I would say this is the last question from the audience. Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you, Professor, for sharing. My question, between the history and politics, we didn't learn from what we lived before, from the First World War, the Second World War, and what we see our politics today as well, not able to understand what we get to leave from the history. How do you think this can be for us and a lesson to learn? Because what we see as well, the war, the conflict around, understanding the peace with me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I would argue that we have learned from this, particularly when you see the steps from the First World War to the Second World War and from the Second World War to Second World War Europe. After the First World War, there was an immediate longing for revenge in all countries, be it in Germany, be it in others. After the Second World War, there was the understanding that this kind of longing for revenge is no tool for the future, but that you have to canalize this basic competition between nations, which is assumed to be existing, in another structure, be it in academic competition, be it in economic competition, be it in everyday competition in sports or whatsoever, but without sending soldiers to conquer other countries and so on. And what you see today in kinds of, let's say, the kind of warfare by Mr. Putin towards Ukraine is a thinking of the 19th century, a thinking which is not based, I would argue, on a clear understanding of Russian interests, of the Russian people's interests, because in the long run, Russian people will lose. They will lose welfare, they will lose lives, they will lose a lot of possibilities for future lives. And that is not, I would argue, in the interest of other people. So most people, after the Second World War in Europe, had a clear understanding that they should not go on as they did before 1914, after 1918, and before 1945. So there is this kind of progress.
Thank you. I think we have no more time for more questions from the audience, but we have time after to chat. I think hopefully you will stay with us for the after show party. I have one more question. We have gathered here many young people today. In your book, you call for defending the principle of representative democracy against populists and self-proclaimed saviors. What advice do you give us on how to stand up for it?
Well, if I should give advice, I just recommend is engage, go voting, get elected for yourself, take part, speak up, don't let anyone tell you you haven't got a voice, don't let anyone tell you you are not old enough or not intelligent enough to participate. Just engage, yeah? I mean that, you know, it's every individual that counts, yeah?
Thank you very much, Mr. Brechtken. Maybe we have time later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was a pleasure to talk to you. So within the last few days, the wonderful Sora, maybe I can see her up there. Hello. She took amazing photos of you all while you were having a good time or having fun. A big applause for her and for her great photos. But now the stage belongs again to the fantastic Army Warning and her band, and we prepared some photos from the last days for you. So Army, please come up on stage and enjoy.
See more. Every day I feel more. Every day I see what life is all about. We must take some time, spend with the youth and show us the way. Day by
by day I pray, let us overcome this Babylon way. Time we need to understand, time we need to grow, time we need to see the light, time we need to flow. Day by day, day by day, day by day, day by day, overcome, overcome Babylon. You'd overcome Babylon. Overcome, overcome Babylon. You'd overcome Babylon. Fussing and fighting for material treasure, when we realize love is what we need. Try to trust and help each other. Give your brother a helping hand. He may be black, white, no matter what color. When we realize love is what we need. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. Time we need to understand. Time we need to grow. Time we need to see the light. Time we need to flow. Day by day, day by day, day by day, day by day. Overcome, overcome Babylon. You'd overcome Babylon. Overcome, overcome Babylon. You'd overcome Babylon. Overcome Babylon. You'd overcome Babylon. Overcome Babylon. You'd overcome Babylon. Thank you. Thanks a lot. We play one more song. It's called Blessing and the Curse. Blessing and a curse, make me happy, make me smile, bring me down, make me cry. You are a blessing and a curse. Whatever I do, I can't get rid of you. You can love unconditional, make me feel irreplaceable, but you can hurt like you're not alive. It feels like deep, deep cuts from a sharp, sharp knife. You are a blessing and a curse, make me happy, make me smile, bring me down, make me cry. You are a blessing and a curse. Whatever I do, I can't get rid of you. Your touch is like a dangerous disease. You want more and more, increase and increase. It makes you feel like a chunk of love, addicted to a poison, never enough. You are a blessing and a curse, make me happy, make me smile, bring me down, make me cry. You are a blessing and a curse. Whatever I do, I can't get rid of you. sick, you make me sick. But I can't, no, I can't get rid of you. No, 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 you are a blessing and a curse. Make me happy, make me smile, bring me down, make me cry. You are a blessing and a curse. Whatever I do, I can't get rid of you. You are a blessing and a curse. Make me happy, make me smile, bring me down, make me cry. You are a blessing and a curse. Whatever I do, I can't get rid of you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Can you? Yeah, yes. So,
how is it going?
Good. Like slapstick a little bit.
Somehow.
Okay, let's continue.
Okay, focus.
The challenge we are about to do, you probably know from social media. I think it was a huge TikTok trend. It's called 5-finger challenge. So, do I have to explain it actually, or do you all know what it is? Okay, I explain it. You have to put up all your fingers up in the air, and if we're gonna ask you questions, and if you agree, you put down one finger every time you agree on our question. So let's start. Delali, you have the first question for us.
Yes. So put a finger down if you took a picture with a fellow histoCON participant in the photo box.
We got our photo, right?
Yeah.
If you haven't, you can go outside later and take a souvenir home. I'm going to put it on my fridge.
Me too.
Put it on. So put a finger down if you had an amazing night, Friday night, like last night, in Berlin. Okay. I heard rumors, by the way. Delali, how was your night in Berlin?
It was okay, actually.
It was okay, okay.
So, next one. Put a finger down if you were able to solve all questions from the histoCON Schnitzeljagd. Wow.
Very
Great,
good.
very good.
Let's continue. Put a finger down. Put a finger down if you wrote and sent a postcard to a loved one back home. Who sent a postcard?
Wow. That's nice. So, next one. Put a finger down if you still suffer from jet lag, but it's totally worth it.
Yeah, I can. So the next one, put a finger down if you are still interested in history, even after 4 days of actively engaging with it. Oh, this is what we want to hear, right?
Next one, put a finger down if you think looking back can help you think ahead.
Put a finger down if you have been waiting to attend histoCON since 2020 and now you are sad it's almost over.
Put a finger down if you gain new perspectives and exchange many ideas.
Put a finger down if you would love to stay in contact with your fellow participants, maybe even made new friends, like me.
So, looks good.
Hands up, we need to see the results.
Wow. Very nice. So if you put down more than 5 fingers or more, we believe you had a lot of fun at histoCON 2022. So an applause for you.
Actually, I'm curious, like, is there anyone here has no finger left? No one? Okay.
Oh.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
I go home by. But, sad but true, the time really has come to an end.
Yeah.
4 days of histoCON. Yeah. We hope that the last days were exciting and beneficial for you, that you made new contacts and got to know new perspectives. It is sometimes my best English here tonight. New perspectives, ideas, and food for thoughts. So now we would like to invite all the helping hands of histoCON to the stage.
A warm welcome to all.
Who made it possible. All helping
All of
hands.
them, all of them.
So please on stage, the entire organizing team of BPD, Orca, Vaterblut und SS on stage already. Come on stage, everyone.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much. I actually don't know what to say because this was quite overwhelming. But thank you to all of you that you engaged in the workshops, that you found new people to speak with, that you exchange perspectives, and we hope that you continue to do so. And yeah, unless you have something more to say, we have one more thing to do.
I have a question actually for both of you. How did it go?
Yeah, I believe it was a huge success for me, I guess. But I need lots and lots of sleep right now. But thank you. Thank you for being with us. And I was also looking forward to this since 2019 when we started planning.
Wow.
It finally happened. It happened.
And we have someone from BPB from us. Please come over. We made a little hike today while you were on the Schnitzeljagd and got some presents for Victoria for hosting.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh. Nani as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And to Esther.
And for Esther.
For Esther, our community host.
Huge applause for them.
And
thank you so much.
For Anna and the Orca team and Vaterblut.
But we also have a surprise for you, Charlotte and Stefan. I give the microphone to Petra.
Yeah, thank you. I would also like to thank all of you, but at the very end of the formal program, before we start to dance, I would like to draw all of our attention again to the two people who are at the core of histoCON, Stefan and Charlotte. Over the last years, they were really working hard, bringing in a lot of inspiration,
Where do you get that from?
They were bringing expertise, inspiration, and a lot of energy to first realize all these digital activities that happened while we could not meet in person. And finally, they managed to realize histoCON 2022. And you, they did everything. They were developing ideas, writing concept papers, curating this wonderful program that we experienced over the last 4 days. They were in the center of all this horrible administrative matters, all these organizational matters, and they really did everything. And to prove this, we have a photo here. They personally went to a very famous sweets factory in Bonn, where we are coming from, to buy a huge suitcase full of sweets that were given to you after the city walks. And they were giving presents to others who helped. And they would deserve a very huge present. But they have to carry it back home. So they will just get a small present. And I am very, very happy to give to you the first and only histoCON cups of honor and thankfulness. They might.
Yeah. Hello, hello, hello.
Amazing. So,
yeah.
Okay. They might remember you every morning when you're drinking cafe to these wonderful days that you organized, and a big applause for the two of them again, please.
So, of course, we want to thank all participants, as all of you sitting here in front of us, watching us from wherever you are. Thank you very much for being here at histoCON. An applause to you.
Okay.
Also, we want to thank the contributors, the team behind histoCON, the Federal Agency of Civic Education, the German Foreign Office, and of course, a big thank you to the histoCON community.
Exactly.
And I would say to celebrate the end of an amazing festival, you all will be excited to celebrate the after-show party with us. So
yes.
If you want, stay here in 30 minutes roundabout. The DJ THDS starts to party with us.
Yes.
Right here. Yes. So let's have a dance, let's have a chat. And
so, yeah. What could a perfect final look like if not with music? So let's give it up one more time for Ami Warning.
Forget about me. Forget about me now. You will find your way. All the memories stay. Forget about me. Forget about me now. Let the future come. Yeah, life will go on. might be the end of our story, the beginning of something new. Yes, I'm still feeling sorry about what I did to you, but in the end, feeling shows where the way of life goes, and you can't force nothing that shouldn't be. Forget about me, forget about me now. You will find your way, all the memories stay. Forget about me, forget about me now. Let the future come, yeah, life will go on. Time will free yourself and free me. How and when we will see, letting go is a hard thing to do, you and I know. After every down we grow wiser and stronger. So go ahead, don't look back, don't think about me any longer. Forget about me, forget about me now. Let the future come, yeah, life will go on. Forget about me, forget about me now. You will find your way, all the memories stay.
Wow. Thanks for having us. Thank you. Thank you. So nice. I play one more song. It's called Follow. It's about following your heart. My heart says yes, my brain says no. Left or right, which way to go? My heart says yes, my brain says no. But I follow my heart, I follow my heart. Boy, you make me feel so bad. Darkest dreams I've ever had. Whatever I do, I can't forget. No more colors, only red. My heart says yes, my brain says no. Left or right, which way to go? My heart says yes, my brain says no. But I follow my heart, I follow my heart. You make my true love die. You make my freedom die. You make my heart cry. But I still love you, I still love you. You make my true love die. You make my freedom day. You make my heart cry, but I still love you. I still love you. My heart says yes, my brain says no. Left or right, which way to go? My heart says yes, my brain says no. But I follow my heart, I follow my heart. My heart says yes, my brain says no. Left or right, which way to go? My heart says yes, my brain says no. But I follow my heart, I follow my heart, follow my heart, I follow my heart, follow my heart, I follow my heart, follow my heart, I follow my heart.
Dankeschön. Thank you.